Do you ever keep yourself from saying something because you're worried or you're preoccupied with how another person might react? Or maybe you don't ask for something because you think the answer is already no? If that sounds familiar, then this conversation is for you. If we haven't met before, my name is Christina Solis, and I'm a women's empowerment coach. I specialize in helping women find their words, feel heard, and step into their power. Now, this is just something fun I like to do in every video that I do. Can I ask you, where in the world are you tuning in from? Maybe you're here in my home state of New Mexico, or maybe you're tuning in all the way from Switzerland, Canada, Argentina. I'd love to know down below. So, when I was starting my skincare business, one of the biggest things that held me back from growth was that I would assume people would respond in a certain way. I remember there were these two ladies who were friends. They were, I just knew them from different parts of life. And I decided that I wanted to ask them to try my products. So basically, I knew as I was growing my business that I needed to ask new people and just really get the product on people's faces. So I thought of these two because we were cool. We had a really good rapport with each other. And I was like, okay, they would be safe to ask. And I remember feeling more comfortable, or at least thinking that it would be more comfortable to bring it up with the first lady. And I was like, yeah, she'll definitely buy. She loves me. She loves skincare. It's great. And then the second lady, I was like, I don't know. I'm pretty sure she's going to say no. Both of them were equally as nice. And I actually still talk to them today. I still have a really good relationship with them. But I was just convinced the one was going to say, yeah, okay, let's do it. And the other one was going to be like, no, I'm actually good, thanks. It turned out, get this, I did end up asking both of them. And the lady that I thought would love the products and would be a loyal buyer and would be a lifelong customer, she bought one set of products, and then that was it. And she supports me. She responds when I message about my business, but she doesn't usually buy. The other lady, the one that I was convinced, like, she's not going to want to have anything to do with my products, she's a loyal customer, and she buys for me every couple of months. So I want to bring that example here today to just illustrate, what if sometimes when we think we know how someone's going to respond, or we think we know how the conversation is going to go, what if that's not the case? So how might this come up in your life? Or, to give you some examples for you to look at. Maybe you keep yourself from applying for a job because you think other people are going to judge you. You think, oh, that hiring panel is going to look at me and be like, who does she think she is applying for whatever position? There's so many other people more qualified. Just that opinion that other people will have. What about not asking for a raise, even when we know that other people in our position make more than we do? We just know that our boss is going to say no, and then we don't ask. Or less on the work side, more on the personal side, what about asking a group of friends to get together, but not including that one friend because you're pretty sure they're going to say no? Maybe they usually say no, and so you don't ask them. And then my last example, not saying something to your partner because you don't want to make them upset. Oh, I know if I say this, they're going to react this way. That's taking ownership or trying to take responsibility for something that isn't ours. We can't control another person's reaction or how they feel about something. That's not on us. So if you can relate to any of these at all, I have a free gift for you. My 5 powerful affirmations will help you rewire your thought process so that you're empowered for yourself without taking responsibility or trying to take responsibility for another person's feelings or reactions. If you'd like a free copy, just comment me and I'll send it your way. So I've got 3 tips to help you take a step back and only own what's yours. Let's say you need to ask for something. You need to ask for help, or you're going to invite someone to something, or maybe you need feedback and an opinion, but you find yourself hesitating. Ask yourself, is it up to me to answer for this person? Am I already deciding how this person is going to respond? And would I want them to answer for me? So let's say this comes up quite often with people I know, and I found myself being guilty of this as well. Let's say I'm going to dinner with a group and we're trying to decide on the place, and then we're thinking about another person to invite, and the place we decide on, we're okay with the group that is talking. We want to invite this new person in, and maybe I think to myself, that place is probably too expensive for the new person. I don't want to make them feel bad. I don't want them to have to say no and feel awkward. How do I know if it's too expensive for them? It's up to that person to decide if it's worth it and how they want to spend their time and money. Maybe we're a group of friends that we haven't seen each other in a year. And maybe we think they have certain financial struggles, but when it comes to hanging back out with a group, they're going to think, well, yeah, that's worth it. So, number 2, let's say you're worried about a negative reaction and you're thinking, I don't want to bring that up to my partner because I don't know what they're going to say. What if you start your topic, your discussion, by addressing your feelings and saying something like, I just want you to know that this is really vulnerable for me, and I've been nervous about bringing this up. What would happen if you started out the conversation like that? Maybe your friend, your partner, your spouse, maybe they said something that you didn't appreciate. And you want to address it before they continue to say stuff like that. And you know how you felt. You know you didn't appreciate it. You know it was hard, or who were they to say what they said? But you don't want to confront them. I mean, that's, ugh. What if you said, hey, there's something I want to talk to you about, but I just want you to know that I'm really nervous about it. And I can tell you from my personal experience that when I've approached things this way, the other person, especially when they care about me, they say, oh no, like, what's the matter? How can I help you? I don't want you to, let's not have you feel that way. What's going on? Personal experience. For sure, for sure. If you come from a vulnerable place, especially if they care about you, they will meet you where you're at. And number 3, if you find yourself excluding someone or a possibility, make it a point to bring that up when you're talking to them. I was thinking you might say no to dinner with the girls, but I didn't want to answer for you. Would you like to join us next week? Whatever. When you say something like, I thought you might say no, but I still wanted to give you the respect of letting you answer. Wow. They usually are like, oh, dang, yeah. So they also know that no is an option, and they don't have to feel awkward when they say it. I'm telling you, it helps. Let's say it's an event and, you can do something like this. I know you don't usually like monster truck events. I know that's not usually what you like to do, but I wanted you to know that I was thinking about you. Would you like to come with us? And I understand if you don't. What would happen if you gave them that option? As opposed to saying, well, I know they don't like that, or I know they're super tired from working all day. It's a Thursday night. They usually can't make it anyway. What if we let them decide that for themselves, just as we would want to be able to decide that for ourselves, right? So, again, if you are interested and you can relate to any of this, I have a free gift for you. It's a short PDF, my 5 powerful affirmations to help you rewire your thought process as you're trying to, not own what's not yours and make decisions for other people. So to get your free copy, just comment me down below and I will make sure that it gets over to you. All right? Talk to you soon.